Yo, 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 it's your guy, Luke Gilfillan from the Lounge with Luke Gilfillan. Welcome to the Lounge with Luke Gilfillan. Oh, shoot. Wait, guys, it's misaligned. Graph was misaligned. My apologies for that. My sincere condolences to your eyes. I figured out that as long as I, stay straight and keep my eye on the camera, and my mouth facing this way. See, you can see that. You can see that. It's messed up now. I'm facing this way. My audio issues will be minimal. They will not be eliminated, but they will be minimal. So, yeah, we've got three local news stories today, or really two local news stories. Um, there isn't enough local Oak Park news, I feel, in recent weeks, because there used to be like rapid pace, like you'd have something to cover every week. Even though we had just had an election, I just don't feel like this is lounge worthy stuff. This isn't stuff I can talk for 40 minutes about. Well, it would be if I actually knew what I was talking about, but in this case, I don't, because I did not put in the effort to read up on the local news candidates, mostly because there isn't much to read about them. Um, but I mean, they're basically the same. They just have different names, different faces, and they're like either lawyers or IT guys. So that's really the only distinguishing factors between most of all these guys. And so that's really what you vote on. Um, but yeah, so Oak Park Village president Vicky Scammon beat Kate Riedling. That's probably a good thing ish if you're not looking for crazy people, though. In my opinion, Vicky Scammon is also a crazy person, along with Kate Riedling. It's just that Kate Riedling was also like a little bit crazier. They're both crazy, but lesser of two crazies. Oak Park Village president Kathy Aducci, Patty Hennick, obviously both crazies. I'm not going to say Kathy Aducci was less crazy than the other person. It's just that she has much more experience being a village president, and I doubt she's going to like explode the village. Like, you never know with these Oak Park candidates. Um, so Kathy Aducci, she's been village president for 8 years. Village hasn't exploded. Actually, things have gotten pretty good uh, over the past 8 years. Things have gone very well over the past 8 years. And so, yeah, she won because she's done a good job and name recognition. Oak Park Village trustee Anthony Clark lost. He came in last out of all six of the candidates in terms of number of votes. Anthony Clark was the former congressional Democratic primary candidate for the 7th Congressional District. He's a very crazy person, like the craziest person probably of all these people. I'm using the word crazy a lot, but you know, it's Oak Park. Um, so he came in last, which is probably that probably hurt him. That probably really punched him in the gut because he's like probably the most name recognizable person out of all these people. Um, and he's got the largest following or dedicated following, you might say. And he came in last out of all these people, which does send a message that people do not like uh, what Anthony Clark is selling. Shibuka Nyaya, he won. Did he come in first? No, he came in second, but uh, I think he's the IT guy, or he works for AT&T, and I think he ran last election back in like 2018 for a trustee spot, and he lost. But he's going to bring his tech experience to the village board and bring us into a new age of development with technology. Basically, he has no experience or qualifying factors to be on there, but he's cool. No, this isn't the guy. I just remember seeing his photo and being like, that guy is a fit dude. And I know there was a Oak Park school board candidate. I think it's like for the District like 97, who ran 100 miles on the treadmill at the YMCA to raise money for charity. And that guy has my full endorsements, no exceptions. He could be Anthony Clark. If you run 100 meters on a treadmill for charity at the YMCA, you're a hero. You're a hero of the Republic, or the hero of the village in this case. But that I don't think that's who Shabuk Anyai was. Um, Griffin, don't even know who that is. Again, didn't even follow the Oak Park Village trustee very closely. Steven Morales, don't know him. Rafi Paraket, don't know him. Lucia Robinson, don't know her. Even though I'm supposed to be your local village news source, but I know much less than you do, or no, not much less than you do. I'm actually on a different plane of existence than you are in terms of local news. That being said, I'm not up to date with what I'm supposed to talk about. Hmm. Um, Oak Park Village trustee, or Oak Park Library trustee, my bad. No one cares about the library because I don't have a library card because I'm not a resident of Oak Park. So, Jackie Shen, thank you for your library card access. Um, and then there was River Forest trustee, three open seats, four candidates. Um, Joanne Buis lost. Lisa Gillis surprisingly got the most votes. You know, I caution against saying this on the lounge out in public for the world to see. But from my limited experience, my limited like probably like a 10 minutes total of experience with Lisa Gillis, I did not think she was very charismatic, but she won, so she's got something to make up for the lack of charisma. Or maybe it's local politics and no one is charismatic. Um, Ken Johnson, 14,000, Respio Vasquez. I know that the north side of River Forest is really behind this guy, probably because he went to everyone's door and was like, "Hey guys, I'm your neighbor from a block down. Would you mind put this sign out outside your lawn?" And then they were like, "Okay," just to not be annoying. And then they put it down, and that's why it appears that all of North River Forest is with Respio Vasquez. Actually, I think this guy is like a really prominent attorney, so I mean, he's qualified for it, and there's a reason he did well. Lisa Gillis, I know she was like the Sustainability Commission person. I think that's what her thing was. Oak Park Village Clerk, Christina Waters won. Again, she won by a large margin, actually. That is an impressive margin for a local village. Like, most people just vote based on whoever, especially she has a nickname. She has a nickname, and she still beat them out. They just vote for whoever, I don't know, name they like better, or whoever has the more like Irish name in the case of the Irish, or Spanish or Latino name in the case of the. I mean, people do that. But District 200 School Board, four open seats. This was the big one, big contested election. Obviously, I didn't like any of the candidates because I am abhorrent to everything Oak Park to do with. But I believe there was a River Forest candidate on here, David Schroet. He's against detracking, which is meaning that you get rid of huh. There's a River Forest native on Superstore, that NBC TV show. I actually like that show. I just saw it on the side. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Oh, frick, that is not what I want to do. Okay, right. If you read the side, I'm going to transition it. You see the side column, Superstore, Wednesday Journal, Oak River Forest native. I didn't know that there was a River Forest native on Superstore. I'm gonna actually click on that article after this one if I go over the boring local elections. But yeah, the only person I could really stand on the school board was David Schroet, who was against detracking. Then again, not a full endorsement because I can't really stand Oak Parkers, but he's River Forest, so that's also a plus in my book. He came in last, so goes to tell you what influence River Forest has. Actually, we do have one person on the school board that is from River Forest. That would be Ralph Martier, who is way, way overqualified for the school board. He wrote the um, Illinois state education funding model and does a lot of work. He's a lawyer, policy expert down in Roosevelt University downtown. He basically like does education for the state of Illinois, and on the side does school board stuff. So he's way overqualified for the position, but shows you what you got to do to get on the school board if you're a River Forester or River Forester. Um, District 90 school board, four open seats. They still don't really know the results of this yet. They had so there's Kathleen Avalos. She is probably, yeah, I mean, she got the most votes out of all the candidates. Stacey Williams and Nicole, no, actually, and then Scott Hall came in third. The big little issue of the school boards this year was whether they were going to push to reopen further. And Scott Hall was really in favor of that, as were some of the other candidates. And Sarah Ekman was really against that. And you can see she kind of didn't really get too many votes. And I won't really go into the controversy, but apparently there was this controversy that Scott Hall looked through the school directory in order to get emails and send out campaign emails, which is a big no-no, but not really a big no-no. It's just kind of like a don't do that. But I guess he wasn't thinking at the time and made a little mistake. And so he dropped out of the District 90 school board race. The day after, they said that they were investigating him for that. And when he dropped out, they claimed that he was dropping out because businesses had been harassed, which would not be, or businesses that he associated with and his friends of his and him had all been harassed by opposing, had all been harassed, basically, which is not uncommon in Oak Park and River Forest. I know people that are not in Oak Park and River Forest might be like, oh my God, he's harassed. He probably was harassed, and that's probably a major contributing factor in his decision to leave. Two Oak Park village trustees and one school board candidate in Oak Park left for the same reason, or didn't run for re-election, and they stated that was the reason, or they chose not to because that was the reason, and I'm sure that's a big thing. Obviously, if you're getting involved in local politics or politics in general, in Oak Park and River Forest, you're probably going to get some mean emails, mean calls. It's all par for the course, and while it kind of sucks, you got to get used to it. Luckily, the Lounge with Luke Gilfillan has not gotten a hate mail in years because everything I say is law and is 100% truthful, and that is widely accepted by everyone in the Oak Park and River Forest area. All right. So either way, Scott Hall dropped out, but he still won the election, and the he never decided whether he was gonna take the seat or not since he already won, and he dropped out late enough so that he'd still show up on the ballot. Um, and so yeah, I think there was something that said that he probably won't be able to take the seat since he did technically drop out of the race. That's what the Oak Park County Assessor, or no, the Cook County Assessor's Office said. I don't even know. But he probably will not be on the school board. But Sarah Ekman will, despite having like a grand total of like nobody voting for them. Park District Commissioner for Oak Park. Oh, Park District Board. Okay. Mike Grant and Carl Bade won. So people are not in favor of paddle courts. They won pretty significantly, actually. That's a huge margin. Looks like those Mike Grant, Carl Bade signs did their work. Um, so yeah, no surprise there. Catherine Ruggieri, no one township trustee, no one cares. Triton College Board, no one cares. I'm pretty sure Tracy Jennings was in favor of like free community college, so she won. And that's really all I know. Next, man charged for shooting Oak Park police officer. So, if you're unfamiliar, there was this really, really, really bad incident that happened on the corner of Harlem and Harrison Street in Forest Park involving a Oak Park police officer. Uh, so Enrique R. Rosa, 27, was charged with 2 counts of attempted murder of a peace officer and 1 count of aggravated battery with a firearm on the April 8th shooting of an Oak Park police officer during his traffic stop. Uh, a bond hearing for Rosa is scheduled for April 11th at the Criminal Court Building, 2600 South California Avenue in Chicago. Rosa faces up to 8 years in prison for each count of attempted murder and a minimum of 6 years in prison for the count of aggravated discharge of a firearm if convicted. The shooting occurred while the Oak Park officer was assisting Forest Park police with a traffic stop at 7 a.m. in the 600th block of Harlem Avenue near the interstate. So it was a traffic stop that was started by Oak Park Police, the Forest Park Police. Oak Park Police helped out on the corner of Harlem Avenue uh, near the Interstate Expressway, corner of Harlem and Harrison, basically. Rosa of the 220th block of Westminster was pulled over by the officer and upon stepping out of the vehicle, opened fire on the police officer, striking him in the arm. The officer returned fire on Rosa, who sustained 2 shots to the leg, according to Oak Park spokesman David Powers. The incident illustrates the dangerous and unpredictable challenges officers face each and every day as they serve and protect our community, said Oak Park Police Chief LaDon Reynolds in a village news release. The prevalence of firearms and the ease with which they can be attained makes being a police officer a risky profession, but many still choose to serve because of their dedication and desire to um, make a difference by literally putting their lives on the line for the greater good. I salute the officer wounded in this incident and wish him and his family a speedy recovery from the traumatic experience. Both the officer and Rosa were transported to Loyola Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries, so that's really good. The officer, whose name has not been released, was released from the hospital's, I should say discharge, because usually you don't want to have the same word within 2 words of each other, but from the hospital's care April 10th and is recovering at home. At or maybe there's a different term for discharge. I apologize. Rosa was still recovering. At last report, Rosa was still recovering in the hospital, so no one was hurt. That's good. Forest Park Deputy Police Chief Ken Gross said the altercation began as a domestic disturbance call in the 700th block of Thomas Avenue in Forest Park. It is believed that the offender took his girlfriend's car when he was driving, when she was driving, when the police stopped him. And whenever you see domestic disturbance call involved in any like police incidents, those are actually probably one of the most, if not the most, dangerous situations for a police officer. So anytime there's a domestic disturbance incident or something of the like, that is usually where a lot of these incidents where police officers have their lives put in danger stem out of. Last time an Oak Park officer was shot during active duty was 1983. So first time in 40 years, basically, that a police officer has been shot at, and it does speak to rising crime trends, especially in Chicago, but across the country, well, in cities, major cities across the country, with the exception to a few. There is a trend of increased violent crime, specifically carjackings. There's an article in the Trapeze this month, which is the Oak Park newspaper, about a rise in carjackings and how one lawmaker thinks it's somehow connected to the video game Grand Theft Auto 5. But that's not really the case. Really, the reason is that we've had uh, social movements over the past year that have been very anti-police in nature, and that causes police to be less aggressive in their policing, which leads to um, criminals filling the vacuum of force. That's just my theory. Again, there's probably a lot of other factors. Um, I guess with the carjackings, you might say people are more desperate for new sources of income, or desperate for income because they've been laid off because of COVID lockdowns. That's part of it. But again, it takes a certain level of opportunity to commit certain crimes to do so. And if there is an opportunity given by a lack of police hanging around, I think there's some famous Mark Twain quote that if every man were given the opportunity to kill and a reason to kill, we would all be killers. I think it's the other way around, actually. And so if you give a person a reason to kill, reason to carjack, and an opportunity to carjack, there's two different factors there, and so it's not wholly. It partially might be the reason, but there's also the opportunity part of it. Um, and obviously, this case isn't carjacking, but similar similar thing. Um, so and then she won. We already covered that. That's all we have for you today. Oh wait, no, forgot about this story about the Superstore actor that I'm interested in. You guys can go if you're not interested in Superstore actors. Thank you guys so much for watching. But for those of you who are interested in Superstore actors, um, here we go. As Superstore closes, Oak Park actress looks back. Oh, is the show over? I'm like 3 or 4 seasons behind on this show, but I remember in 7th grade I used to watch like the show up to like the date, not on the day it released, but like on the on-demand thing because we've cable. I would watch it up to like the end of season two if season two was the only one available. So I know who this person is, that person. I know all their names. So that's yeah. NBC Superstore did what lesser shows could only dream of this year by managing to make the plight of essential retail workers hilarious during a global health crisis. Blah blah blah. Including one played by Kelly Schumann, a River Forest native and former Wednesday Journal employee turned Superstore actor. Superstore's final season ended on March 25th. Its denouement to cover the realities of working retail in a pandemic, covering everything from a lack of protective equipment to customers stockpiling toilet paper. Um, Schumann joined the cast of Superstore as a series regular during its second season, playing the character Justine, who struggled to fit in with the more popular employees working at the fictional Cloud9 store. I actually don't know which one of these is Justine. Um, is it this one? Oh wait, no, is it this one? Or this one? I'm gonna look up Justine Superstore. Oh, it's this one. Okay. So she has like an alcohol addiction in the show, and I guess she's an Oak or River Forest native. So pretty cool. Cool stuff. All right, that's all we have for you today. So she's from River Forest, and she did good playing her role in the show as an alcoholic. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Congratulations to Superstore actor for moving on from Superstore, and goodbye. Oh shoots. Okay, bye.